I have to admit, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. The Fire and Ice team came pretty easy to me. I want bleeds and I want poison to work because I feel like they would be very important mechanics in the game, and I'm having some difficulty building a team. So let's walk through this together. Let's get to the video.
There is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Garvey here. This is a DC Worlds Collide video. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the bleed and poison characters to go into the debuffs. However, I will say this. Bleeds are supposed to be like the anti-shield. It's what you use to defeat characters that put up a lot of shield. I have been having issues, and maybe it's me not taking the time to do the research properly in building my poison and my bleeds teams. Now I'm gonna run this team right now. The way that this is gonna work, and I'm running it now because I'm running out of time on my team up, and I need to hurry up and finish the simulation. Is that Penguin lays down poison on both his basic attack and on his advanced attack when he puts up a shield. If he gets hit, he gives that enemy poison. Poison Ivy puts down poison on her ultimate attack. Scarecrow has an awesome poison mechanic, and I did just change his gear to some okay stuff. I won't even call it decent. It's alright. But basically, his passive, he's going to apply poisons at the start of each of the first 3 turns once you get him up to rank 8. We have a good team synergy in terms of bleeds from Two-Face. He lays down bleeds on his ultimate, and on top of all that, he does provide damage reduction when he's in the front row for Penguin, and he does provide damage amplification in terms of giving out when he's on the back row. And then Ocean Master, he does bleeds everywhere, bleeds and weaken. We'll go into his kit a little bit when we discuss it. So I'm going to run this right now. Ultimate order, I put Penguin in the back all the time, to be quite frank. Let's lay down the bleed. I think of these characters, of all the characters, okay, yeah, Ocean Master's the best. Let's be real about it. But then the next 2 would be a tie between Poison Ivy and Two-Face. And I think my Two-Face is only ranked 6. That might be part of the issue I'm running into. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. We're going to run this at these guys. And then we're going to check the stats and see how that goes. And I'm going to try to... Oh, and the plus side about this, in terms of me being able to watch it, and I'll slow it down because this is me. Oh my goodness, Frankenstein. Every time I don't account for old buddy. I keep forgetting Frankenstein hits like a truck whenever he's on PvE. We're going to just switch that over because, like I said, my Two-Face is rank 6. My Penguin is rank 8. He should be able to handle this, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Penguin lately. So basically, I even forgot what my train of thought was. Basically, Phantom Stranger puts up a lot of shields. The bleeds for the shields should, Penguin ain't nothing, man. The bleeds from the shields, the bleeds should reduce health under the shields as well. Phantom Stranger puts out a lot, so then bleeds would be an advantage for him, or an advantage in this situation. Okay. So when he does actually put up the shields, which he may not even do so right now because he has silence on him. That's just a good happy coincidence right there. Let's go ahead and speed that up a little bit because I don't think they're going to clear this actually. So there should be bleed damage that comes, but remember in this game, bleed damage happens after the enemy's turn. So right here, Phantom Stranger is going to get a turn, and then you should see some bleeds pop off under the shield, and then this bar should still reduce. So there's the bleeds that went off. Okay. He just took a bunch of damage off of his bleeds. Maybe we should be paying more attention to Frankenstein on those bleeds. Let's restart. This is the research portion of the game. All right, so we're going to restart and watch Penguin die in a glorious fashion again. So the poisons go out there. That took off 8K from Phantom Stranger off rip. He blocked that a little bit. The Holy Revenge. And there goes Penguin. We have the poisons up here. So actually, smart money is we should probably be watching this meter up top. A little bit of damage goes out. It is going to be Frankenstein's turn, and like after Poison Ivy and Two-Face's turn, we put out more poisons, and now I want to see, 7,000, and then a critical hit right there from the poisons as well. I didn't know poisons and bleeds could crit, but okay. I'm not complaining about it. We're going to speed it up. Um, so yeah, the bleeds should be hitting under Frankenstein's shield and then reducing his health bar. Mm-hmm. Phantom Stranger goes. He's still going to lose off that. That took off a good chunk right there. That's what I was looking for. This team isn't going to succeed in this area, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to look at the stats, and then I'm going to go back through it. I'm going to destroy this team real quick with like Wonder Woman. but I'm going to check for the stats when we get done. Ocean Master might do work here, though. A little bit of work. I'm not saying he's going to finish him off, but I thought Ocean Master was going to do some work. Ocean Master, why don't you do no work? Okay, so let's go ahead and go through their kits and how they work very quickly. And in fact, we'll go back here. So what I'm using for Poison Ivy, there she is. So Poison Ivy on her Toxic Infusion during battle increases attack when dealing damage, and this is very similar to the Starfire where she lays down burns whenever dealing damage. Permanently increase her own attack by 1% for each stack of poison on the target. So every time she gets an attack, if the target has poison, she's going to increase her attack. Remember that for when I get to Scarecrow. Adds 1 stack of poison to the back row of enemies, and this is another random enemy as well. This is her ultimate attack. Right? Yeah, attack the back row, dealing superpower damage equal to 150%. Increases damage of this skill by 15% for each stack of poison on the target. So as she's stacking poisons here on the back row, which it's kind of funny that she only attacks the back row, period. She's going to do extra damage for each piece of poison on this attack, and then also on the passive in general, she does more attack when there's more poison. That is important because, or at least Scarecrow becomes important in this scenario because on his passive, spreads fear gas at the start of battle, adding 1 stack of poison to all enemies that last until the end of battle. And then if you take him up to rank 8, he will do this at the start of all 3, like the first 3 turns. So he's essentially, if all 15 survive, he's putting out 15 poisons in the first 3 turns, which is good for Poison Ivy because then when she runs with him, she's going to do a whole bunch more damage just out of the gate. Penguin is supposed to be good. And I've seen people get on me. It's fun. The Discord is fine. I like the interaction. I really do. So long as it's respectful. But there have been people who have been disagreeing with me, saying that Penguin is actually good, and maybe it's me. I can't make him work. I have him ranked 8. I've been trying so hard. He does not go for me. But raises his umbrella on Umbrella Shield to protect himself, increases defense by 100%, while it's up, granting 30% damage reduction to the back row for 1 turn. Like, this puts him up with dealing damage and then reducing damage for everybody in the back. Should work. Defense increases by 100. This part is important. He's adding 1 stack of poison for 3 turns to the person who attacks him on his, by just standing there and taking the damage. He's adding poison. And then on his basic attack, he does add a poison for 3 turns. This sounds like it should be great. I'm just having difficulty getting him to work. And those are really the only characters that I've used or experimented with in terms of poison. Now, when we go over to bleeds, we have, and I'm making sure I don't miss anybody up top, I'm pretty sure that Deathstroke has bleed on his kit as well. So if you wanted to use him, I'm not going to go through his whole kit because I don't have him, and I need to. I've used him in Elseworld, but I want to use him with the team to tell you exactly how to do it. But he does do on his passive, and I think on his basic, he lays down bleeds. He lays down a lot of bleeds, actually. All right, so we're going to scoot past him, but he is a bleed character that I would love to have, and I'll probably get relatively soon. Not going to say why and how, but I'm pretty sure you guys know if you've seen that super fun pack. I basically told you how and why. All right, so now on Damien, increases damage dealt to the target for more than 65% upon dealing damage as 1 stack of bleeds. So 1 stack of bleed for 2 turns. So he's going to add bleed when he attacks. Now, Damien is a character that I have a little bit of a conflict with. I feel like he could be better at higher ranks, and he's not great on my roster right now, but I think he could be really good. I don't. Before I was hesitant to believe that he could be, but I think he could be at least a decent single target damage dealer. And I will put the resources into him when I have it. Not saying that's a wise investment, but I'm gonna try. Next up, and I had to write him down. Oh, Two Face, Two Face, Two Face, Two Face. I think Two Face is probably the best of the. Nope, wrong. I was about to say something really bad. Second best of the epics that apply bleeds. And so on his passive, at the start of battle, in front, his good side is revealed. In the back, his bad side is revealed. When his good side is revealed from the front row, front row allies apply 1 stack of bleed. Whenever they add bleed. When his bad side is revealed, the back row gains 15% lifesteal. So they're going to apply bleed. The front row allies are going to apply bleed whenever they add bleed. It's an additional stack, so it'll be 2. That actually makes a difference a little bit in my head. That makes a difference in my head for front row. That has me changing some things in my brain. As though maybe Two-Face and Ocean Master in the front row would be a good idea. I got to think on that one. Tosses a coin, and let's just say if Tails deals damage equal to 170% and adds 2 stacks of bleeds for 2 turns. Wait a minute, though. If he's adding an additional stack of bleed in the front row when someone adds bleeds, does this apply to him as well? Meaning that when he adds these 2 stack of bleeds, it's going to be 3 instead of 2. What's up, MD? How's it going? And then on his basic, he's also going to add 1 bleed for 2 turns. So does that mean he's adding 2 bleeds now? I need to watch out for that, because if that's the case, he is amazing in that sense. If the evil side is shown, he attacks an enemy row twice, and this is on his ultimate attack, with each hit dealing physical damage equal to 80% of attack, adding 1 stack of bleed for 2 turns. So he's going to add bleed for 2 turns on his ultimate attack. And if you get up to level 3, it's going to be 2 stacks. So the passive, if he's in the front, adds bleeds in one way. And then if he's in the back, adds it on the ultimate. I like. Next is the best bleeds character, at least for from epics in the game. And that is Ocean Master. And this counterattack is insane. I love every bit of it. But the way you're going to get bleeds is from his ultimate, which has kind of a funky qualifier to it. For every stack of weaken on the enemy, for every stack of weaken an enemy has, add 1 stack of bleed for 2 turns. Add 1 stack of weaken for 2 turns to each enemy with no stacks of weaken. So for every stack of weaken, if I can get weaken out there, which guess what, I'm going to, because when an ally blocks an attack, Ocean Master will launch 1 counter at the damage dealer. That counter is going to be on his basic attack, which lays down weaken for 3 turns. So his kit works really well within itself. It's awesome. And he can lay down a lot of bleeds on his ultimate so long as we get a few weakens out there. And I think that's also part of what makes him run well with Bizarro. And then lastly is an elite who will not be in the video because I need to put her in level link. She does apply a bleed on her basic. The reason why she's going to make this list a little bit is because she does apply bleeds, but then she also manipulates the action bar in the beginning. So that makes her a pretty decent elite to use and to invest in. All right, so let's do this real quick. All right, so now that we have that understanding of it, I'm tempted to try again. And actually, let's go into Elite Arena. Or should I go? Let's do regular arena. Because I at least have those crystals. All right, those crystal keys. We will punch down a little bit because this team is not going to be as strong because they're not the top of my roster. We have 623K. I am going to try to put Two-Face in the front with a character that will apply bleeds. I guess that is Ocean Master. I'm putting Ocean Master up there because he is one of the strongest. And then next would have to be Damien in the back. And what's going to be weird is putting Penguin in the back. Hold up. This umbrella thing where he reduces damage, granting 30% damage reduction to the back row, would apply to him if he's in the back. Okay. That's weird. And then poison ivy as well. So we're going to try to put out these poisons. We're going to try to put out these bleeds. Unfortunately, there's no one over there who has a shield, so we can see how the bleeds work with the poisons. And now is where we get to the team synergies, which during battle increases bleed damage taken by enemies by 12%. I'm leaning towards that. We're not going to do Damien's because it just increases the damage for 3 turns. And then for poison ivy, during battle increases poison damage taken by 18%. Now, mind you that the damage itself, the 18%, that is based on the fact that I have her ranked 7 right now, and Two-Face I have ranked 6. So that's where the differences come in. Wait a second. Okay, cool. All right, so now we will. I do not want Ocean Master to go first, because I want his ultimate to have weaken already out there so he can go ahead and do damage with the bleeds that he lays down from his ultimate. Two-Face laying out bleed. Wait, hold on his. Told you guys it's R&D. Where are you at, Two-Face? On his ultimate, it is team synergy ultimate. If he's in the front row, he's going to lay down 2 bleeds. I also want to check for those additional bleeds that happen on his basic, because he says if you lay down a bleed and he's in the front row, he's going to make you lay down extra. We are punching up here, so we could get worked. No promises on victory. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Can you watch my team on the guild and make an opinion? Yeah, let me after this video. All right, so. Right now, a few bleeds out there. I'm slowing it down just so I can pay extra attention. Sorry, I know like slow is like really slow in this game. Every game, honestly. 1x is always so slow. All right, so he just did his ultimate. We have a stun out there from Poison Ivy. And a silence. A stun from the Batmobile. None that we received. A couple of blocks went out, but Ocean Master didn't react. I would have liked to have seen him react there. Okay, so that's 2 bleeds off of his basic, right? That Two-Face just laid down. Now there's some weaken, not a lot. So we're gonna add bleeds based on the weakens that are out there, and if they didn't have weaken, we put them out there for him. Part of me feels like for this team, maybe Ocean Master's ultimate should go first, not because it's gonna do great in the beginning, but because it's gonna run more often. We're gonna speed this up. Okay. And there goes Two-Face. Now we did extra damage there because of the poisons that were laid out already from Poison Ivy. Scarecrow is not on this squad, and it makes me wonder if I wish I could restart and do this again, because I want to kind of replace Penguin with Scarecrow to see if it would be a better result. But it needs to be like against the same team, just so we can see. Damien did work, got rid of Constantine. There are poisons out there on Batman. We have some poison damage come off. Of course, Red Hood revives. Of course, Penguin gets taken out by the Bat. And there goes Damien. Okay. It was a little bit of a punch up, but I would like for that team to have performed better. Let's try to run this one more time, but we'll change it up slightly. So this is the 649. It'll be a slight punch up. I kind of want to run Scarecrow instead of Penguin, which seems insane. Maybe I should run Scarecrow instead of Damien. I want to keep the front because of the bleeds. Damien does. Oof. Come on, Damien. Let's see. Am I taking you out for Penguin? Or not for Penguin, for Scarecrow. That's an indictment. That's what I was looking for. Increased damage dealt with more than 65% of health. by 25% upon dealing damage as one stack of bleed for 2 turns. So he's okay. All right, let's see. We'll try it one more time. I think I'll put Scarecrow in for Penguin, which is going to be. This is ridiculous that I'm doing this, by the way. This is absolutely insane. And then I'm going to add the poison effect team synergy from Poison Ivy. In this entire scenario, I don't even really need Scarecrow to take a turn. I don't think I'm going to win this, but I want to see it work. So this is like one of those things of where it's going to be a work in progress. I'm going to go through the details of the bleeds and the poisons themselves right after this before I sign off. But this is one of the things where I don't know if it's the characters and we need more poison bleed characters and a little bit more like leaning into the mechanic, or if it's the way that I've built my team so far based on the roster that I have. I can see poisons and bleeds working. I'm not getting it to work though. And I think that's more a thing on me. We have a lot of poisons out there from Scarecrow. And so that means that if and when Poison Ivy does pop off, she should do some legit damage. That's not bad. That's not bad damage. Her damage is increased for every single poison that's out there. So that's not bad at all. And so that means running her with Scarecrow actually would be, kind of ridiculous, but better than running her with Penguin because Scarecrow's going to put poisons out at the start of the first 3 turns. So she's going to hit harder off rip. So in terms of going over the buffs, which I should have done at the beginning of the video, I'm doing it now. But in terms of going over the debuffs real quick, for those of you who don't know, which they do, like I said before, they do a great job of like putting this out front for you to see every single time. With poisons, where are you? There we go. After the end of the turn, and this is the one thing that I don't know if I like or hate about the game. They do the bleeds at the end, they do the poisons at the end, and most games they do it at the beginning of that character's turn, so they'll fall before they get a chance to do anything. Take superpower damage equal to 20% of attack and decreases healing received by 10% for each. By 10%. Max. And this is actually kind of big. It's actually kind of big because as I understand it, and maybe decreased healing is different than decreases heals. Like the action of decreases heals is different than decreased healing, which is a debuff that's given out by the Bat Cycle, for example. Decreased healing from the Bat Cycle, that also reduces the ability to take shields. Decreased healing here, I'm thinking about all those Kid Flash nodes where Kid Flash is just healing the hell out of Flash. What's up, A? And it's the same thing with the Lex. Whenever you see Lex and Damien in System Recovery, you want to use bleeds to hit under the shields. With this, maybe Poison Ivy works best against Flash and Kid Flash when you're trying to get them not to heal so much. So then running her with Scarecrow for one of those nodes may be the best thing since he's putting poison out there. He's reducing their heals already. Let's activate this, please. He's putting those heals out, the poisons out there already. That's decreasing their heal by 10%. Okay, so I'm going to go into System Recovery with that. Let me read into the bleeds real quick first. And then I'll go into System Recovery. And if I can find a team that'll let me attack him, I will. At the end of the turn, takes physical damage. Remember, physical damage on bleeds, superpower damage on poisons, and like for example, Superman is weak to superpower damage and is stronger against physical damage. Equal to 20% of attack, decreases shields received by 10%. So bleeds do decrease shield as well. If proportion of HP is lower than 33%, the damage is doubled. Bleeds ignores shields and deals the damage directly to the HP. So you can have Phantom Stranger put up that massive shield in front of whoever, himself included, and the bleeds are going to be like, yeah, that's cool, that's nice, but we're going to just keep hitting your HP. Appreciate it, though. That's cool. Those shields look so cool. I like that color blue. But so right now, I'm gonna try to go into system recovery because that lower heel thing. I hope I have a flash team ready because I think I just beat one. There's Doctor Fate. Um, there is Wonder Woman. I don't think. Oh, hey, where you going? I don't think I have a flash ready. I think I just beat them. Ooh, I think this was it. It was either Lex or Flash, one or the other. Yeah, Flash. I just beat him like yesterday. What are we doing? And then I think if I go down lower, 23 is where I was at. Doctor Fate, and I already did the other one was Wonder Woman. Ooh, I don't think I'm gonna have a chance to do it. I don't think I'm gonna have a chance to do it. So I'm gonna call it a video here. But as soon as I get to anything where I can, Superman. Ugh. When I get through it, this is to be continued. There's going to be a part two. I don't know when, but when I get to a situation or scenario when I can actually like show poisons versus heals and bleeds versus shields, I will do that because that seems like an awesome mechanic to work with, and I want to get that to work because Lex and Damian drive me crazy in system recovery, and Flash and Kid Flash drive me crazy in system recovery. So, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. I'll see you guys next time.